All righty. On to number 9. Alabama. Roll Tide.
9.
Here is a guy who I think is quite possibly one of the most underrated players in this draft. I'm calling it right now. If you watched Alabama's offense, it was not as smooth. It was not as good as the typical Alabama offenses are. Their quarterback play was horrible. I'm calling it right now. Horrible. Okay. Jermaine Burton played in Alabama the last 2 years, started off the first 2 years in Georgia. So, I mean, you're talking about he went to the 2 basically top football schools that kid. It's like going to Harvard and then getting your master's at Oxford at that point. 6 foot even, 196 pounds, 22 years old. Last year, 13 games, 39 receptions, 798 yards, 8 touchdowns. 22, he has 13 games, 40 receptions, 677 yards, and 7 TDs. This is a guy that you have to watch the tape to understand what kind of player he is. I cannot tell you how many times I'd watched games with Alabama, and he's wide open all the time. They just can't get him the ball. This is a guy that I'm telling you right now, the stats do not tell you how often he was open, do not tell you how good of a player he is. And keep in mind, again, it's Alabama. Alabama's got a pretty decent record of wide receivers. Now, were they all studs? Were they all able to stay sober and not kill people in the streets? No.
Oh, jeez.
But Alabama's had some pretty good receivers come out of there in the last 10 years or so. I like to look at a school that tends to breed these kind of guys at that point. You know what I mean? Like, you're good at making wide receivers. Okay, I have a wide receiver from this school. That's a pretty good risk to take. And that's what I look at in this kind of scenario, you know? Pro-wise, good route running, able to get separation. Cons, the big thing is the offense didn't give him a chance to shine. I don't know what his ceiling is because we never really got the chance to see it at Alabama, which is crazy. It's Alabama. The other thing is not a good blocker. And you guys know, again, I talked about this earlier. I love a good blocker. That's the one knock I have on him. It's not that he didn't want to do it. He just didn't seem to do it well. So hopefully that's that it can be coached out and changed out there. I think he's going to be a 3rd round pick. I think some people are going to look over him because they're going to look at the stats and they're going to look at the line and go, hold on. This isn't like some of the other guys who've gotten from Alabama. But I'm telling you, he's a lot closer than people think he is. I don't think he's quite as good as those guys, but he's a lot closer than people think he is. This is a guy that I think all day long will be a number 2 receiver in this league.
Yes, he's going to be one of the steals of the league, and he's going to go to a team that already has a Batman out there. You pick him up, he's an instant Robin.
Yep.
He might be your Nightwing, if you will.
Nightwing, ooh.
It's funny. It's funny you say it like that too, because if there's one person that kind of needs a little bit of help, and I guess they're Robin in a way, and he wasn't, the number 1 target for him when he was in college, but I can see him going to Carolina and being back with Bryce. Yeah. And it's just that comfortability that we talked about there, like with the whole Caleb and Rice situation. This is the one that seems more so like it probably will happen. Like Carolina's got the 33rd overall pick. They've got another second that they got from you guys, I do believe, is it not?
They did.
For the Burns trade, right?
Yeah.
So that was
54.
Oh, it was that 2nd round pick. It wasn't the 30.
No, this was a 30 something that they got from.
Oh, was it?
This was not the one we got from Seattle. We gave them our original one.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
You're talking. It's what, like pick 30, like 8, 39 around there,
or 38 or something like that. Yeah,
it's the high 30s.
Yeah.
So they got a couple of picks there in that range.
So I don't see them necessarily going there. I think those picks they'll obviously use for, the help that they actually need, like probably grabbing a tackle. They'll probably grab another defensive, if Chop's around there or something like that. But, they can utilize that very, very early 3rd round pick and either trade into the 2nd if they want to get him or grab him with that 3rd round pick. And I do think him and Bryce together would probably be very beneficial for not only the Panthers, but his career as well.
Yeah, like I said, I do think third round is where I think he's going to go. And like I said, it's a shame because I think he's got the talent to go in the second round all day long. He really does. And again, I challenge somebody to look at the film and watch to see how often he's open and not go, oh my God, what the hell is wrong with Alabama? This guy was wide open half the damn time. Because I'm telling you, he was. Either the quarterback couldn't get the time or just flat out didn't see him. Wide open. So, like I said, I think he's a guy that might shock some people because you don't hear, again, it's another guy you don't hear much about. But I think I probably have him a little higher on the board than a lot of people do have him at there. But I think he's going to do a lot better than a lot of people think. I really do. This
is going to be one of those sneaky good picks that you get out.
Yep. This be one of those ones where next year we do talk about receivers. Like, remember what I said, Jermaine Burton?
Yeah. Really? Bird, we picked him 9th in the draft. And
because you know what it is? There's guys I talk about that are
5th best rookie in the wide receiver market.
When I talk about guys like Malachi Corley, and I say, okay, this is a guy who's going to be a boom or bust kind of thing. He could really make a shot at the NFL, or he could be a guy's out of the league. And I'm honest about those guys, and I have no problem putting them towards the bottom of my list at that point there. When I put you at number 9, I'm saying you're going to be solid. This is not a ceiling floor situation. This guy's going to be good. And I really think that's where he's at there. So remember that name, because like I said, someone's going to get him, and someone's going to get him probably in the third round. And I think it's going to be a steal for them. I really do. So unless somebody else agrees with me, it's in a GM position. You know what I'm saying? You never know.
We're for hire.
We are for hire. Yes. Joe Shane, call us up. We're available.
Thanks for listening to Two Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. We appreciate your support.
Thanks so much.